Journey to Gaolagong Mountain. After discovering the Jalunpi tree frog, the mountains became gloomier and rainier than before. The weather was almost always in a state between cloudy and sunny, with mist drifting through the mountains. Sun showers became a common sight. Encounters with leeches, hairy caterpillars, or hidden dangers from venomous insects became a daily occurrence. However, what left the deepest impression on me was the two unexpected encounters with black bears. At night, accompanied by the chirping of insects, the Silver River winged cicadas hidden in the grass, tree leaves, and rock crevices began to call. Here, besides the Silver River winged cicada, one could also find species like the Dihong winged cicada and Fay's horned cicada. Additionally, large horned cicadas such as the county winged cicada, which is widely distributed across the Gaolagong mountain range, could also be observed. From the northern road of the mountain range to the southernmost part, their presence was everywhere. Their back patterns resemble withered leaves, allowing them to blend seamlessly into their environment. During my exploration, I discovered a snake with a prominently raised spine and alternating black and white rings. My first instinct was that it belonged to the highly venomous species of the banded krait. This location at the southernmost route of Gaolagong Mountain is also the habitat of the many banded krait. However, upon closer observation, I confirmed that it was a non-venomous species, the Shaba white-banded snake. Many people judge whether a snake is venomous based on its raised spine, but this method is inaccurate. I have encountered large specimens of banded kraits and silver-ringed snakes that had robust, rounded bodies with no obvious raised spines. On the other hand, some non-venomous white-banded snakes also exhibit a prominently raised spine. The most accurate way to differentiate them is by examining their distinctive features, whether they belong to the cobra family and whether they possess the characteristic hexagonal ridge scales found in all banded kraits. The exploration continued. The mountain forests here were perpetually drenched in mist, and almost every tree was densely covered with epiphytic plants. While observing the trees, I caught a glimpse of movement near my feet. It was an adorable little creature. Some might mistake it for a common gecko, but it differs from the geckos we usually see that can cling to smooth surfaces. This species is called the Western Yunnan loach gecko, a newly discovered species in Western Yunnan in recent years. The loach gecko species is primarily distributed across the Indo-Chinese peninsula in Southeast Asia, with known populations in Yunnan and Tibet in China. Unlike common gecko species, it does not have adhesive pads, but instead has claw-like toes similar to those of a loach. This adaptation allows them to move efficiently on rough mountain surfaces. Unlike loaches, they do not have movable eyelids, but due to their exposed claw-like toes, they have been named loach geckos. As night deepened, intermittent rain began to fall again. The humidity in the mountains was already high, and it seemed like I was destined to get drenched once more. During my rainy search, I encountered a large bamboo viper with ruby red eyes that shimmered with blue hues in the forest light. This bamboo viper had striking colors but an extremely aggressive temperament. From the moment we met, it repeatedly attempted to attack. Due to its large size, its striking distance was considerable. Although capturing close-up shots was risky, I still took the chance to film its attack movements. This particular specimen was a Silver River bamboo viper from Western Yunnan. Once thought to be a new species of bamboo viper, but later confirmed to be a northern variant of the Pope's bamboo viper. Meanwhile, the southern populations from southern Yunnan were later identified as a new species, Nanenna bamboo viper. Although now classified under the Pope's bamboo viper, this northern Yunnan variant remains unique due to its distinct regional traits and fragmented distribution. Males from the Moshi population exhibit facial stripes, but those from Western Yunnan do not. Their scales are fine and sharp, displaying a moisture-rich blue tone, with some individuals even showing scattered blue patches on their scales. This bluish tint is more pronounced in males, but this individual I encountered was a female. Only females can grow to this large size. During the shoot, its tail did not exhibit the usual warning behavior of rapid shaking. Instead, it started mimicking the wriggling movements of an insect, a clear hunting strategy. It was puzzling why it adopted this behavior when facing me, but it perfectly demonstrated how these snakes use their tails to lure prey in the wild. Throughout the filming, it continued its flickering movements, displaying the aggressive temperament typical of Yunnan's bamboo vipers. In other regions, the bamboo vipers I have encountered were generally calm and posed well for photos. However, in Yunnan, whether it be the Pope's bamboo viper, the Nana bamboo viper, the Hong Kong bamboo viper, or the Yunnan bamboo viper, it was difficult to find individuals with a mild temperament. Given that such a large female was already active, it was likely that the more numerous males would soon emerge as well. With this thought in mind, I continued my search in the treetops. Before long, a male Pope's bamboo viper with a dazzling blue glow and deep red stripes appeared before me. Seeing such a specimen, I could understand why it is considered one of the most beautiful bamboo vipers in China. Most bamboo vipers in the country exhibit a silvery green coloration, with few displaying other hues. However, the Western Yunnan Pope's bamboo viper, with its deep blue glow, stands out as a truly unique variation. Unlike the sky blue color of island bamboo vipers, its blue shade merges with deep emerald green, resembling the rich hues of a gemstone. Its ruby red eyes were particularly striking, deeper and bloodier than those of most other red-eyed bamboo vipers. Unlike the four-tailed bamboo viper, which also inhabits the southern slopes of Gaolagong Mountain, these two species occupy different ecological niches at varying altitudes. The four-tailed bamboo viper prefers mid to low elevations, while the Pope's bamboo viper is found at higher altitudes. It is rare to encounter both species at the same elevation simultaneously. Through extreme close-up shots, one can now clearly see the blue patches on its scales, as well as the overlapping, crisp and deep blue tones on its scale edges and tips. This unique color combination is what gives it its stunning appearance. This little creature was highly photogenic, and I was very satisfied with the pictures I captured, so I decided not to disturb it any further. As I continued exploring into the late night, the rain began to pour once again. My freshly dried clothes were quickly soaked through. Following a small mountain stream, I continued my search to see if anything new could be found along the water's edge. To my surprise, I stumbled upon an unexpected discovery, a peculiar little creature that looked entirely out of place in the high mountains. Its large and small claws closely resembled those of a fiddler crab commonly found along coastlines. However, this location was nearly 2,000 meters above sea level in a mountain rainforest. This species, known as the elegant wrinkled crab, belongs to the family Gecarcinusidae and is widely distributed across Southeast Asia. This particular species, however, is the northernmost member of its group. Unlike aquatic crabs, they prefer to stay on damp forest floors or even climb trees rather than staying in water for extended periods. As dawn approached and the mountain rain intensified once more, I decided to descend for rest. My next stop would take me to lower altitude rainforests for further exploration.